Okay, sorry for the messy table, but it is what it is right now. I just wanted to show a quick how-to of a box card frame where you don't have to use the big sheet of cardstock, do all that scoring. You just simply make the 4 parts that you need, and you can make your frames any size you want them to be. This particular one here, I sized for a 5x7. And it started out as white cardstock, and then I just used acrylic paint and a stamp. That stamp, as a matter of fact, with a metallic paint, and stamped it, and then did some splattering, did all my cutting and scoring. Well, the piece was already cut to size, so I did all the scoring, and then it's ready to put together. But I wanted to show you how I get it to this point. Let me move those. For a 5x7 frame, it's going to take 2 pieces of cardstock that are cut 4 inches wide by 7 inches long, and 2 pieces of cardstock that are cut 4 inches wide by 9 inches long. Then the rest of it is simply just the scoring. So let me move that. I'm still in recovery from my back surgery, so I can only work with what I have right here on my desk, or I can't do anything because I can't bend, lift, or twist in order to get to stuff. So the scoring is all the same for all 4 pieces, except your 2 short pieces are the only 2 that you're going to have an extra score and a cut line on. So, oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. This frame has a 1-inch width and a 1/2 inch height. So that's how I come up with the 4 inches, because you've got your 3 1-inch sections and your 2 1/2 inch, which equals 4 inches. So you're going to score it 1 inch at a 1/2 inch, then go over another 1 inch, which puts you at the 2 1/2 inch mark, then at 3 inches. Then turn, and with the 7-inch piece at the top of your scoreboard, at the 1 inch mark, you're going to score only through that first 1 inch section, and then that first 1/2 inch section that shows from the top. Then go down to the 6 inch and score from that 1 inch, that 1/2 inch, just down to that first 1/2 inch that shows from the top. Then turn it back this way, flip it over, and that 1 inch line that you scored, rescore it going the opposite direction. So instead of your humped line that you're going to fold into, it's going to be on the outside, and it makes for a smoother fold on the final fold of the piece. So a 1 inch score, then scoot over a 1/2 inch, which will put you at 1 1/2 inches, then over another inch for the 2 1/2 inch mark, then another 1/2 inches at the 3 inch. Same thing. Turn it, score the 1 inch down to the first 1/2 inch section, then at the 6 inch, make the same score line, turn it, flip it, and just rescore that first 1 inch at the opposite direction. So that puts that humped line on the outside when you're looking at it from the front of the piece. And you can see the 2 score lines only go down to right there. Now on these 2 pieces, all we do is the 1 inch, the 1 1/2, the 2 1/2, and the 3, and then just flip it over and do the same thing to that first score line, so that humped line is on the outside. Then do 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, and 3, and then score that. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Everything else to do with this is just measurements, just strictly measurements. Then the only two pieces you even have to cut on are these two that you, let me get my scissors, that you made the two scored lines on. Now, I do all my cutting from the back side of my project because I'm going to cut away those humped lines. So, this is what you're going to end up with after you cut up and over from that point to that point. You can score that in if you want to. I don't. I've made enough of these, and I worked with enough projects that I cut up to remove that humped line, and then I just eyeball it and take off that part. Then do the same thing here. Then turn it, then go from that and cut right into that cut that you just made. And you're going to do that on both of your, I kind of call this the brace piece because it's what holds the sides together. So by doing this and creating your top and bottom sections, you can make your frame any size you want it to be. This just happens to be for a 5x7 frame because I wanted a few for some pictures. I've got some 4x6 pictures that I'm going to mat, and I'm going to put them in these paper frames and hang them. Let me move that one out of the way because I have the white one here to show you, because I actually want to do something to that green one before I put that one together. So this is just going to be a little prototype. So flip it over so that your humped lines are towards you, and then just start folding them up and give them a good burnish. So you're going to have a 1 inch, then a 1/2 inch, then another 1/2 inch, and then finally the last 1 inch. And the reason we do that 1 inch here, where we went back and we scored for that line to be indented, let me get it creased, is because these two measurements being the exact same, when this folds in and is glued into place, you're going to get a smoother join and finish on the back side than if this edge was having to fold into one of those humped lines like here. So that's the reason for going back and whatever, when you fold something up like that, whatever it's going to fold into, you give it that little tiny bit of give instead of taking it away. So, and just do the same thing on both of your short pieces. And then the tall ones, the same thing, using that outer humped edge as your final fold. And let's do one more. It was hard to have enough different stages of this done, so I figured I would just do the whole thing and be done with it for the video, and hope it all shows up, because unfortunately I can't. I either have to sit here or stand up, and I can't stand up for that long, so I have to just sit here until I'm done with what I'm working on. And then the same thing for the side pieces. So, let me show you. This is the one that I finished off this morning. After I got it put together, I went back and I actually decoupaged a napkin onto it and then just made the little flower spray to go on it. And the nice thing about it, it can be used upright like this or turned like this. So there's no right or wrong way of doing it as far as you know, using it for display. So, I'm going to glue all these together. And I put glue on the little short piece, then just fold that piece over onto it. Set that one to the side. And put some glue. And just be sure you press it down good. Make sure I had it folded the right way. Fold that over. Press that into place. Those set for a minute. So then when you set your pieces back up, then you just want to make sure that your joining end, like here, is to the inside. So that one will become this side once it's glued into place, and this one will go this way and become, come on, that side, and that will make the 5x7 frame. The only other thing you'll need to do is have something when you begin gluing it together to use to just true it up and square it up, so as you go around from each corner. So I just used a stamping block to do that with. So I'm going to put a little glue there because we know that angle is going to come across right there. Then on the back, we've got a little bigger area, so I just put it up in there like that. Then take my block and just be sure everything is snug. And just give that a few seconds for your glue to set. And if you use a quicker drying glue, then it won't take as long. Or just take your time and work, you know, around the process of getting it done. Let's see if I can go a little faster. And then I have to put the glue on the back side there. And this one will slip right up into there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use that block at this corner and make sure it's all snug up in there. Then this piece is going to go from there to there. So we know that angle is going to be on the outside. So we're going to put glue on those corners and slip that one into place and do both of those corners at the same time. And I like to, when I do the bigger one, I learned from doing the one in my grandson's baby book, I like to stand it up and kind of tamp it down and make sure it's even. But that's just how quick and easy it is to make the frame. These are some other sizes that I've done. This one has a little 2x2 inch opening with a 1 inch wide frame and a 1/2 inch height on it. This one has a 3/4 inch width with a 1/4 inch height and a little 2x3 opening. And I thought this size would be perfect for like place cards. You could take another piece of cardstock that you're going to put on the back of it and fold it to make a little easel so the cards could stay propped up on a table. They could be used for place cards, name plates, whatever you would want them to be. And this is the project that I did. This is just a little belly band, but I have to redo it because I actually made a boo-boo on it. But this is the frame that I made and turned into a box card with a baby book that I made for my grandson's first birthday. And this is how it looks. I made the frame the size I needed for the book, so it would fit perfectly in there. And then the card can actually be used standing up like this, and she can put a picture from his party in it. And I just thought that was a neat way to give the little gift, and then she'll still have the box and the frame to use afterwards. So, I hope that made some sense, and if y'all have any questions, just holler at me in the comments, and I hope to do another one of these with some other versions of the frame, but the measurements that I gave in this video basically are for a 5x7, but I'm going to try and do up a little chart that'll have some of the basic sizes in it for those that might want them. So, let me know how y'all do if you decide to make one. Thanks.